Years ago, in the kingdom of Lakhanpur, there ruled a king named Amar. He was very ambitious and loved his subjects dearly. Happiness prevailed everywhere in his kingdom, but the king and queen themselves were always unhappy. Despite having wealth, riches, and fame, they had no children. They had tried everything from prayers and rituals to meditation to have a child, but to no benefit. One day, upon the advice of sages, the king decided to perform a grand sacrifice, that is Mahayagya. Through the grace of the sacrifice and the divine, the king acquired a beautiful daughter. The entire kingdom rejoiced with the king and queen. Joy filled the kingdom in all directions. The king invited all the citizens to a feast to celebrate the joy of becoming parents. As time passed, the princess grew up. She was very beautiful and religious. Seeing her, the king and queen began to find happiness, but one day their joy seemed to be ruined. The princess fell ill. Despite consulting many physicians and experts, no cure was found. Day by day, the princess' conditions worsened. The king began to worry that they would be childless once again. One day, a physician from a distant land arrived at the king's palace. He looked strange and was not properly dressed, which led the guards to stop him from entering the royal palace. The physician pleaded to meet the king, claiming he could cure the princess, but nobody believed him. The guards brought the physician to the king. The physician introduced himself to the king and said that he could heal his daughter. Though initially skeptical, the king decided to give the physician a chance upon seeing his confidence. The king told the physician that if he could heal the princess, he could ask for anything in return. The physician agreed. Accompanied by the king, the physician went to see the princess. She lay on the bed, looking lifeless. The physician approached her and checked her pulse. Then he took out a pouch filled with herbs and put them in the prince's mouth. The physician assured the king and queen that their daughter would soon recover. With the treatment progressing, the princess' health gradually improved. Her face regained its glow. The happiness began to reflect on the faces of the king and queen as well. One day, the physician told the king, "Your Majesty, the princess is now healed. Here is a pouch of medicine prepared from herbs. Give it to the princess on time. After this, she will be completely healthy. This disease will not recur." The next day, the king summoned the physician to reward him for his promise. The king was asked what he wanted. With a smile, the physician said, "Think, Your Majesty, whether you can keep your promise." The king said, "You have cured my daughter. Tell me, what do you ask for?" The physician smiling replied, "Half of your kingdom and your daughter's hand in marriage." Upon hearing this, the king became angry. The king, taken aback, replied, "Are you in your senses? If you hadn't saved my daughter's life, you would have reached the afterlife by now." He ordered the soldiers to escort the physician out of the kingdom. Smiling cunningly, the physician left. Just a few days after this incident, one day the princess fell ill again. Her body turned blue. The whole kingdom was immersed into sadness. The king and queen were drowned in grief. Upon investigation, it was found that the physician had given the princess poison in one of the pouches he had given earlier. The physician had suspected that the king would not believe him, so he had filled one pouch with poison. He thought that if the king agreed to marry off his daughter, he would remove the poisoned pouch, but if not, the princess would suffer the consequences. The physician's hypocrisy succeeded. Moral of the story: if you have made a promise to someone, you must fulfill it. And another is, don't blindly trust anyone.